Well, hello. It's been a while. Yeah, it's been quite some time again. But I thought I would show you with words today, not just music. One of my latest journals. This one's made in part from some recycled book cloth, also some digital images, and some new bits, and as I'll just go through quickly what's in here. So I like to use this sort of spine effect, and I like to use the eyelets as well, and I can see some of these have gone a bit rusty, but that, to me, that doesn't really matter. So you can see what I'm saying about this being a recycled book cloth. It's not the actual cover, but it's the cloth salvaged from an older book. Okay, so we have the ties, and this the method is with this one I've got four signatures, and each signature is a repeat of the first one, so we won't go through it in great detail, but I'll just show you some of the things that I get up to when I'm creating a junk journal like this. So these are digital images I've over stamped with some of my favourite stamps, and also there's some digital labels, and I think most of these are from Tracie. So I use a lot of the books, the concise floral, British flowers, those sorts of books, the ones that have all the sorts of flowers in the variety of colours on one page, and they really do, especially the scraps, they lend themselves really well to making tags. Again, you know, the stamp, the digital images, and with this pocket I've literally just made it out of a piece of card and stitched on this area so that you can pop the tag or whatever it is in there. Because it is incredibly plain, as you can see, it's quite plain without anything in there. I did do a little bit of over stamping and some more cut out digital, or maybe they're from a book, butterflies, but yeah. I think plain paper is great, you know, somewhere to write, somewhere to put your notes and things like that, but I like to add a little bit of extra stamping to it to give you that hint that this is from an old book. I mean, this is old sketchbook paper, granted, but it's you know, just to give it that look that it's been torn out of a really old Victorian-y sort of notebook. But again, we've got a digital image, definitely from a book, a lovely number from, I'm absolutely certain these are Tracie numbers, and you know, a bit of over stamping on top of this image with the statutory distressed edges. I will use all sorts of things. I mean, this was just a little scrap, more digitals. Because I kind of wanted this one to have a green and yellow theme to it, I did stick with the sort of images that fell into that bracket. You can see here that the stamp didn't stamp completely perfectly, and I think that's equally lovely. Didn't say on this side where it stamped fairly regularly, but you know, I like it. So I tend to make up the pages first, then do this bit of stamping afterwards, and then put the bigger images on, and then I come back through and put the smaller things on. So it's a multi-layered process, really. I just like putting these when I'm doing the sewing in of the signatures. I like to add these little tie-offs on the end, these little tags on the end when I've tied it off. So as you can see, we've stuck with the colour, the overall layout, I suppose, layout design is fairly consistent all the way through, which I think really helps bring it together in a cohesive way. Obviously some people like their junk journals to be really junky, really messy. I can do that, but sometimes my mood just takes me into this. So at each signature is held together, or is, I suppose each signature has this little defining element of this thicker card. So in this one, in the back pocket, what I've got is again another scrap from one of those Oxford Concise Floral books, and I've just added some more, another place where you can take some notes, write some quotes, whatever, distressing the edges where it's folded. Of course I could have, if I'd have wanted to, added some of this to there. Might just do that still, don't know, but that's that. I mean, it's fairly straightforward, simple thing to make, and again it just pops into that pocket, and then we just repeat that again on the back of each tag. I do, especially if I'm using a very dark coloured card, I will put another piece of paper over the top, and it's either pre-printed with lines, or this one is actually stamped again with a sort of sepia tones of ink. And that pops in there, and we literally are just repeating the format, not necessarily the imagery, but the format of the previous signature. There's those little ties down the middle, and it goes on. There we are, and here's another one of those little flip out notepads. I find that stitching helps keep this edge, this pocket well attached. Glue is great, and glue, you know, by all means use glue if you haven't got a sewing machine, but I just think it adds that extra little bit of something. And you can see I've stitched around all of the images on here as well, so it does tie it all together. There's another one of those tags. I'm going to just jump around and go to the end so that I can see what I've done, you can see what I've done, and we can look at it. Oh, sometimes the centre signature, it's quite straightforward to put something right across the page. Stick that down. I like to round the edges too. It gives you a little bit of wiggle room when the pages are, you know, they're not going to be guillotine square, are they? They're not going to be perfectly lined up, but I think you know, with a round edge you get that softer look as well. And there we are, there's another one of those little notebooks, particularly lovely flowers. And there we are. And so the spine is always, for me, I like, if I'm going to do an exposed spine, I'm going to make it as decorative as I possibly can. It does help when you're threading as well, when you're stitching the actual signatures in. You've got this sort of reinforced area on the back of the spine. So it is made with a recycled book cloth torn from a book that had a great cover. I think this might well have been a sort of 1970s Reader's Digest type book, because Reader's Digest tended to do things over the, you know, over and above what everybody else was doing with bookmaking at the time, because they were their coffee table type books. Well, there we are. This is my latest journal. And just tie it up so that it keeps it together. There's still room in there for somebody to you know, expand, add. It's not crammed full, but it certainly is it's full enough if you just want to write in there. And you've got some little tags there as well. So, well, there we are. That's that. I managed to get through that without coughing or sneezing. I have got a bit of a cold going on at the moment. Goodness knows where that came from, but still managing to get things, get crafty and get creative. So I hope you enjoyed that talk through and flip through, and just, you know, if you've got any questions about the actual process, anything like that, if there's something you want to see specifically more about, then do leave it in the comments down below, and I will get back to you. And thank you so much for all the lovely new subscribers. And yeah, keep sharing, keep coming back, and obviously God bless the algorithm, because without you, the followers and that, I wouldn't be getting the support that I'm getting. So thank you very much. Bye bye. See you next time.